Today we will be discussing the topic investment fluctuation reserve. So, as the name indicates, this topic is very much similar to what we studied earlier, that is workman compensation reserve. That is a reserve kept aside out of profit to pay compensation to workers. This one, that is investment fluctuation reserve. This is a reserve set aside out of profit to meet the fluctuations in the value of investment. As the name indicates, this is the meaning, to meet the fluctuations in the value of investments. Now, fluctuation means the changes. So, you can utilize this reserve if there is fall in market value of investment. IFR can be used if there is a decrease in market value of investment. That is the purpose of maintaining IFR. So, we have different cases just like workman compensation reserve. Case 1, you can give the heading when book value and market value of investments is same. When book value and market value is same, that is case 1, book value and market value is same. Book value, you all know the term meaning of book value, that is the value given in the books. Which is the book? That is the balance sheet. So, in your balance sheet on asset side, you can see this item like investments. Suppose it is given 20,000. Now, as an adjustment, there is market value of investment. That is also 20,000. This is the case when book value and market value is same. Both are same. What is the purpose of IFR? And suppose you have on the liability side IFR for rupees 30,000. If there is a fall in market value, if the market value is lesser than the book value, you can make use of this reserve. But in this particular case, we don't have to take anything from the reserve balance because there is no decrease in market value. So, what can we do? Entire reserve balance, if nothing is to be paid or if nothing is to be given, the entire reserve balance can be distributed among old partners in old ratio, just like we did workman compensation. So, in this particular case, the journal entry will be IFR, that is investment fluctuation reserve account debtor to, what are we doing? The entire balance 30,000 we will divide among old partners in their old ratio. If it is fixed capitals, you must write current account. And in which ratio you will divide? In, whenever you say old partners, it is to be distributed in old ratio. So, this is the journal entry, IFR account debtor to old partners capital account or current account. This must be distributed in their old ratio. So, here you have to separately write. If it is A and B, you must write 2A's capital, 2B's capital. Likewise, you have to write. So, that is case 1 when book value and market value is same. Second case is when market value is less than book value. Market value is less than book value. Again, we have subheads. You write subhead 1. Fall in value is less than IFR. There is fall in value, but that is less than investment fluctuation reserve. The amounts we can take as IFR 30. This is just for you to understand. Then asset side you have investments, that is the book value 20,000. This is the liability side. Then adjustment we have market value, that is 6,000. Okay, this is just for you to understand. You can just write the heading and then you can write the journal entry if you have understood the concept, or else copy the entire thing. So here we have IFR, which will be utilized if there is fall in market value. Looking into the question, you will understand that there is fall in market value. 20,000 became 6,000 now, that means there is decrease in market value. And what is that difference? That difference is 14,000. How will you meet this decrease in value? That will be taken from your reserve IFR. Out of this 30,000, we will take 14,000. So what's the balance we have? Balance 16,000 will be distributed among old partners in old ratio. So the journal entry will be now, it is almost similar to what we did under workman compensation reserve. So IFR debtor, the entire amount you must write, that is 30,000. The total 30,000 we have to take. Then are we distributing entire 30 to old partners? No, we are distributing only the balance 16,000. So what should we do now? There is something you have to include in between. Two investments, just like we wrote workman compensation claim, just like that. In case of IFR, you have to write two investment. Here we will be showing the difference between book value and market value. What was the difference between these two? The difference is 14,000 that we can write here. So this 14,000 will be taken from IFR and the balance will be that 16,000 will be distributed among old partners in their old ratio. Whenever you say old partners, the ratio is old ratio. So this is the journal entry. IFR debtor, then out of that we took the difference between book value and market value. The balance we can distribute among old partners. So that is subhead 1 under case 2. Next is second one. Fall in value is equal to IFR. That is second subhead under case 2. Fall in value is equal to IFR. Again we have fall in value, there is decrease. So we have to take something from IFR. Balance can be given to partners. And the figures we can take as IFR, let it be 14,000. Investments. I am just giving the format of balance sheet like this so that you can understand it easily. What you have to learn is the journal entry. Then market value is an adjustment. They have given market value, that is rupees 6,000. Now look into this question. We have fall in market value, there is decrease in market value. That difference is, that decrease is 14,000. How will you meet this? From where will you take this? You will take it from your reserve balance. So entire reserve will be taken for meeting the difference, to meet the fall in value. So we can't distribute anything to partners in this particular question. So the journal entry will be IFR account debtor. The entire amount you have to write always, no confusion. What is given here in the balance sheet, you write IFR debtor 14,000. To investments, you have to take the difference between book value and market value. And what is the difference between these two? This 14,000 was the difference. 20 minus 6. 14,000 is the difference. If there is balance on the credit side, you can write. Still, if you have a shortage, you can write there to old partners capital. That's the easiest way. So though you don't know the concept, you can write the journal entry. Just write IFR debtor, the entire amount given in the balance sheet. 2 investments, the difference between book value and market value, that is a fall in value. Then if there is shortage on the credit side, you can write 2 alt partners capital. If there is shortage on the debit side, like in your workman compensation question, you must write there revaluation. The treatment is similar to workman compensation reserve. We will see such a case. So this is subhead 2 under case number 2. Then third subhead is fall in value is more than IFR. We can take the figures as IFR 14, then investments 30, and adjustments market value, that can be 10,000. So here also we have a fall in market value, that is for rupees 20,000, but we have only a reserve of 14,000. So we will see the journal entry. What you should do first, write IFR debtor. How much will you write? The entire amount given in the liability side, 14,000. Then what should we write? Always leave one line and write, so that sometimes it can be revaluation, sometimes the shortage will be on the credit side, so you can write 2 alt partners. So leave one line here whenever you write these type of journal entries, whatever be the case. 2 investments, what will you write? The difference between book value and market value, and here the difference is 30 minus 10, isn't it? Yes. So the difference is 20,000. Now see this journal entry, we have a shortage on the debit side. So what should we do? There you must write revaluation debtor. Revaluation debtor, the difference is 6,000. Revaluation is debited with that amount 6,000. So that is the meaning. Why revaluation is being debited? Because there is decrease in value of investments and we couldn't meet the entire difference. Entire 20 we couldn't meet from 14. So what we couldn't meet is 6,000, that we debited to revaluation. You remember the format of revaluation? Decrease in assets, we used to show it on the debit side of revaluation. We will show it as to decrease in asset. So that is why revaluation is being debited. That's the reason you just leave all these. The easiest way is IFR debtor, you write the entire amount, then you write 2 investments, the difference. After that, if the shortage is on debit side, you write revaluation debtor, the difference amount. If the shortage is on credit side, you write 2 alt partners, the difference amount. So that debit and credit sides will be equal. So these are the different cases. Then the last case, third one, I mean it's not the subhead, it's the main head. Third case, when market value is more than book value. When market value of investment is more than book value. Market value means one which is given in the adjustment, that is more than your book value or the value given in the balance sheet. Okay, so in that case, like investments value in the balance sheet is 20,000, that's a book value, and adjustment says what is given in the adjustment, that's called market value. Market value is more, so we will take 30. So what is the purpose of IFR? IFR, suppose we have for rupees 40,000. What is the purpose of maintaining IFR? To meet the fall or to meet the decrease in value of investments. Now in this case we have an increase in market value. So should we take anything from reserve balance? No. Only if you have a fall or decrease in market value, you need to take the difference from IFR. Balance will be distributed among all the partners. But here we don't have a decrease, instead of that we have an increase. Entire 40,000 now can be given to partners. So the journal entry will be IFR, that is investment fluctuation reserve account debtor. The amount is 40,000. 2. The entire amount now will be distributed among old partners. So you write to old partners capital. Why we didn't write to investments? Because there is no fall in market value. So entire 40 we can distribute among old partners, just like your case 1. Yes, so these are the different cases regarding investment fluctuation reserve. Next we will work out one illustration question. Illustration number 44 we will do. Okay, before that just see this journal entry. IFR debtor to old partners, because nothing to be taken out of IFR. There is no decrease. But instead of that there is an increase in value of investment. Increase in value of investment will be usually recorded on the credit side of revaluation. We are recording it as buy investment. If there is increase in value of assets, we will show buy investments on the credit side of revaluation. So for that also we have to write the journal entry. So investment will be credited to revaluation. So revaluation is getting credited. So your journal entry, 2 journal entries you have to write. In this case, I forgot to write this one. This one also you have to write. Investments account debtor to revaluation. That increase in value. What is the increase in value? 20 and 30. So increase in value is 10,000. That increase in value we recorded on the credit side of revaluation. So now we will work out illustration 44. Let's read the question first. There are 3 partners, PQR, ratio 6:3:1. S was admitted as a new partner, then their new ratio is given. They decided to record the effect of following without affecting their book values by passing an adjustment entry. We have so many items given there, like general reserve, contingency reserve. Contingency reserve means that can be used if there is any emergency. Then P&L credit balance means it is a profit, and profit is always a liability for the firm. So it will be appearing on the liability side. Then advertisement suspense, it is a fictitious asset. So the meaning is it is a loss which will be shown on the asset side. Pass adjustment entry. So we have certain items which have credit balance and some other items which is having a debit balance. On liability side, for your exam you need not write all these. You just have to directly write the balance, you just have to directly write the journal entry. Contingency reserve, don't waste your time by doing all these. Contingency reserve is 30,000. Then we have P&L credit balance. Credit balance means it is a profit and it is a liability. Then on the asset side, advertisement suspense, that is debit balance, that's a loss. Advertisement suspense 1,20,000. And for all these, considering all these items, you have to pass an adjustment entry. That means one single journal entry you have to record. So we know that general reserve will be credited to partners. All these items we know that it must be transferred to the opposite side. That means it will appear on the credit side of partners capital. And this, from this asset side, you usually transfer advertisement suspense, then goodwill, P&L debit balance, all these will be transferred to opposite side. So it will come here debit side of partners capital. So separately we can write it. So it will be two journal entries, but now what they are asking is, considering all these, you have to record one single journal entry. In that case, what will you do? You have to find the net result of all these items first. So you can give the heading. You start writing from here. Net effect of accumulated profits, losses, and you have reserves. Though you don't write the heading for the exam, that's okay. Show the calculation clearly. Okay, the first item, general reserve, which is having credit balance, we'll add all those items. General reserve 1,80,000, then 30, then 90. And 90. So credit balances you add first. Contingency reserve, then the final one, P&L credit balance. From this total, you deduct what is debited. That's a loss, so you deduct it. Advertisement suspense, what's the figure for advertisement suspense? 1,20,000 within brackets because it is to be deducted, and the difference you calculate it, it's 1,80,000. So that is the net effect of all the items given in the balance sheet. Now this 1,80,000 can be distributed among partners. Can be distributed among partners means, for that division you should first compute the sacrificing ratio. What is the formula for sacrificing ratio? It is old ratio minus new ratio, or old share minus new share. Here we have P, Q and R. Okay, old partners we have 3. So P's sacrifice will be equal to, what is P's old share? P's old share is 6/10 minus his new share is 3/10. So that is 3/10 sacrificing proportion. The proportions you have to take. Then 3/10 minus, that is for Q. Q sacrifice 3/10 minus again 3/10. So we'll get it as 0. So this particular partner Q is not sacrificing, at the same time he is not gaining. Neither he sacrifices nor he gains. That's the meaning of getting 0. Then the next one, who's the next one? PQR. R sacrifice is equal to his old proportion is 1/10 minus 1/10 minus where is the new one? 3/10, isn't it? Yes. So that will be minus 2/10. Now we have one more partner, that is who is the new partner? Yes, S was also admitted into partnership, and S proportion you will be getting from that new ratio. What's the new ratio? 3:3:3:1. So from that, what is the proportion of partner S? S, that's a new partner, his proportion is 1/10. And will he sacrifice anything? No. Whenever a new partner is admitted, the existing partners or the old partners will be sacrificing their share. Instead of that, the new partner who is entering the firm, he will be gaining. Now the journal entry, the resultant journal entry, what we have to write is, sacrificing partner, we know that they should be always credited. They should be credited. They have to give this, we have to give this amount to them. So sacrificing partner will be credited. Since it is not given like fixed capital, you can simply write sacrificing partners capital. And we know that if there is a gaining partner, what's the meaning of R getting a negative figure? When you computed sacrificing proportion, R is getting negative answer means R is not sacrificing, instead of that he is gaining. And what should we do with gaining partner? Gaining partner always must be debited. Should we take Q in this journal entry? No, because he neither gains nor sacrifices. So it need not be, Q's proportion and Q need not be written in this journal entry. So this is the final journal entry. Gaining partner must be debited and we have to give to sacrificing partners. That is the final entry. And now we will write their names. Who are the gaining partners? We have R as the gaining partner. Then there is one more gaining partner, that is the new partner. R and S is the new partner, no? Yes, S is the new partner. He is also gaining. Whenever he enters the firm, he will gain. So we have two gaining partners, that is R and S. 2, who is the sacrificing partner? Is it P? Yes. 2 P's capital account. How will you compute the figures? We already computed the net effect and the balance we got is 1,80,000. Out of 1,80,000, what is R's gaining proportion? R's gaining proportion is 2 by 10. So you do 1,80,000 into 2 by 10. Then S capital, who is a new partner, what is his share? His share is 1 by 10. What is the sacrificing share of P? 1,80,000 into, what is the sacrificing proportion? 3 by 10. So this is how you have to take the figures. Why we are debiting R? Because he is the gaining partner. So compute his gaining proportion. 1,80,000 into, we have already computed the gaining proportion, that is 2 by 10. Then S is debited. He enters the firm. He is the new partner and his share is 1 by 10. So he is also a gaining partner in that sense. Then 2 P's capital, you have to write 1,80,000 into 3 by 10 because he is the sacrificing partner. So now you can write, the figures will be 36, 18 and 54. So this is the final journal entry, RS to P. Now we have written the gaining share as minus 2 by 10, but when you write in this journal entry, don't take it as negative 36,000. We have already debited this partner because he is gaining. So we are taking amount from his account. We have debited him, so no need to take as minus 36,000. Debited means we are giving a negative effect.